Ooh.
So there's that aggression. It's up there. They're ready to play Casino Night here. Neon though, they do have some ways of burning through those phantasms, right? Like again, Grimstroke can kind of melt those illusions down. LC can as well. Have to be a bit careful with how you jump in. But the damage output from Boom is great. The control is mainly single target focused, but they can really focus down on that one hero and kill them fast.
Do love the CK coming out. Obviously, shout out to Loopbet, one of our sponsors out there today. And it's never a bad thing to have a gamble and then have a double gamble on the CK, right? You just never know what's going to happen. So it's always a bit of fun here. And on Neon, they're going to have to figure out a way to deal with this. And the CK is not one of those cores that's easy to deal with, especially once you get to the mid game. But for now, they're going to bring out the Yopaj Kunkka, which is a lot of fun to watch. I'll tell you that, John.
It definitely is. I love it in here up against the CK, up against this instantaneous burst lineup. So you've got the rum buff that'll help you last through the damage for the Wind Ranger, last through the damage of the CK. You've got great AoE control coming out with the Kunkka. You've got the X to keep that Wind Ranger in its place. It's shaping up pretty nicely here, Neon. I think their lineup's looking pretty solid. We just need to see what they want to bring up on their pause. One, looking at this kind of lineup, you'd want something that can play a bit aggressive, just a bit, maybe help you rack up those dual wins if the LC does rotate in. So that's one thing for Neon. Something that can fight into the CK as well. You've got to be able to deal with that tanky hero. Boom, for their part, it's just aggression. They go with the OD. Not a lot of high-end heroes here, Mike, so the OD is going to be able to punish really nicely.
It's a very unique draft here from Boom, isn't it? Like, it's all these heroes. Like, all right, the Chen is popular, right? We'll leave that out of it. But the Wind Ranger CK OD, not something you're too used to seeing, especially when you consider they're in the same draft. You start to wonder, where's the control going to come out from for Boom Esports? Like, you've got the Astral, you've got the stun from the CK, and you've got Shackles. I'm just not seeing really reliable kinds of lockdown here, or just control in these big team fights, where if you look at the other side, you've got a Kunkka. He's all the control you need. It's concerning me just a little bit here for Boom.
Yeah, I think the strangeness of it is it's very different. It's been a while since we've seen OD. It really has, right? He's tapered off, made it for a reason. He can still hold it on with the play you can get with the Astral, but it's a tricky one. Scaling's going to be interesting to watch out for. Their last pick has to tie it up. Their team fight looks good, but the OD needs something to set him up for that hammer drop. And the Santis Eclipse, you're going to need some control there. The Tide was banned out earlier. That would have been nice. Centaur's gone as well. Could you slide a Mars in here? You probably could if you wanted to. That would assume that Boom is going to run the support Wind Ranger, which it's still fairly open. Whether or not that will be support or, I guess, off in this case. Boom's going to have to show their hand first, though. So no matter what happens here, they're going to be able to get what they want first. At the least, they're going to have to show their hand.
When you said support Wind Ranger, it kind of reminded me of something. Have you ever heard of support CK, John?
Yeah, I have. I've played it.
I had a pub game the other day. Had a teammate that went position 4 CK, rushed Aghanim Scepter. It made me sick, Jonathan. Where do people come up with these terrible ideas? Support CK, I'm going to rush Aghanim Scepter, and then what? I'm going to make illusions of everyone. That's all he did. Needless to say, we lost the game, John. Right? We did lose the game, but that happened to me.
I mean, to be fair, support CK is a thing.
No,
you don't rush Ags. No, it is. It used to be you pump the Reality Rift to drag them super close. They do go with the Mars in the end, so it's going to be a support Wind Ranger. Does tie into that team fight. But going back to that point, support CK is actually pretty fun. You've got a great stun, you've got great damage, and Reality Rift, it's a really good pull. If you pump it right. Neon, they go with the TA, so the Kunkka is going elsewhere. It's a safe lane. Yeah, safe lane. No, safe lane LC.
Safe lane LC.
A JG, Kunkka, a Yapaj TA to tie it up. I love the flex here though, Neon. You get the TA up against the OD. The OD can still play that lane, but the TA, once you get those side blades up, you can just go back, twack away. Refraction is not going to burn down easily to the Astral. So they're setting themselves up pretty nicely here. Boom. They've still got this amazing team fight, amazing early potential, but they can't really fall behind. We've seen CKs fall behind before, Mike. It's not a pretty picture. You've got to keep rolling if you're playing Casino Night.
True. See what Dreamersaur can get done on the POS 1 CK. Makoto as well on that mid OD. Again, it's not something we get to see too often these days, but I look forward to see what he can get done. And of course, in classic Skem fashion, he can't choose a normal position 1. He always has to outdo everyone, and he'll go for the Legion Commander POS 1, which I believe is every 2K MMR pub player dream. Just to run position 1 Legion Commander and have like 500 duel damage.
No, that's not the dream, Mike. You know the dream for every Legion Commander player? Not necessarily like 2K players, but Legion Commander players dream of an Iron Talon to be buyable. So they can AFK jungle minute 0. That's the dream, and that's the nightmare all in one. Wow, that Wind Ranger animation is really nice. Didn't see it. Sweet. Such a good Arcana. I'm always going to say that. Good hero. Good hero, Mike. You can't prove it wrong. It's one. It's one. Okay.
One day, if we ever get to a LAN where Slacks is there, John, I'm not even gonna let you say hi. I'm just gonna be like, he's a Wind Ranger player, and I'm just gonna run.
Oh, he's gonna slap me down, 100%. Gonna slap me silly for that.
If we make it, John, it's
Yeah. When is that next LAN, Mike? I haven't seen the outside world in a few months here.
Yeah, it's been tough, John. It's been tough. Who knows? We could do it in my garage if you want. Got some space. We could just get some sponsors, get a prize pool going. Open the garage up, get the Barbie going as well.
Yeah, sounds like a good time. You got a Bunnings nearby?
Of course I do, John. What kind of stupid question was that?
That's perfect. That is perfect, man. Look at this, Mike. We said Scam POS 1. Now, see, he's still going into the off lane. He's still looking to play aggressive here, so...
With a tri lane. Aggressive tri lane, as far as I can tell.
It's just the Neon playbook, pull off something different, and they will. They just want to run at you. They know the weakness of the CK, and Dreamosol, he's walking all the way down. They've drew the lines. They don't want to have him die early. They're avoiding it. They read that game plan as well.
I don't blame him.
It all comes down to this.
I really like this new announcer pack, by the way. That guy is so epic.
Oh, he is. Just such a deep voice. Such a beautiful voice. That's the voice you dream of having about Mike. Well, maybe not you. You've got a fantastic voice. I've got a very tinny voice, I want it deeper, but this is as deep as I can go.
You sound very podcasty right now, John.
It's all the microphone, Mike. It's all the mic.
It is, isn't it? The bot lane is going to be a tri lane from Boom Esports so far, and they're going to leave the FBZ Mars up at top by himself. Nope, never mind. They are going to TP and hide on the Wind Ranger, and so just dual lanes being run here. And of course, this isn't the lane Skem wanted. He did want to verse the CK in lane, but he will not get so lucky. He'll be forced to be up against FBZ and hide.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. If they maintain these lane swaps, Boom has a step up because they have the Chen. We've seen that kind of play before. So you've got to see if Neon wants to swap around. Doesn't look like they will. They're just going to contend with this lane. Hyde is just going to walk around, of course, play harassment. And FBZ here, he's got that God's Rebuke. He's just going to farm up. It's just going to be relatively static. You're not going to expect too much action. It's a very tanky hero to try and jump here.
Remember 1 year ago when Wind Ranger support meant you got an Orb of Venom? You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So stupid.
And it got nerfed because of Wind Ranger. Just because of that one hero. I mean, you just go Wind Run, you go up, you right click, they're gone.
Thanks, Wind Ranger players. Ruined everything. Mid lane.
Oh, gosh.
Yapaj and Makoto up against each other in that mid lane. So the OD versing the TA. In fact, never mind that 1 second because John Newell is in trouble bot lane. He'll be alright. He'll be able to salve up. As I was saying, this mid matchup. Makoto and Yopaj up against each other. It should be a fairly even lane between the two, but it is going to be slightly frustrating for Yopaj considering that he will get astraled every single time Makoto has it off cooldown. I guess he always has the jungle to rely on later on.
Yeah, the one issue here for Makoto is to gap close with the Astral is super risky. Look at that. Yopaj, if he lines up his shots, his side blades are going to do some work. Now, you can't allow yourself to get caught out like that, though. Once your refraction fades, that's sign for Makoto to come in with the Astral, and the damage can pump up. So a little bit of awareness from Yopaj has to be in play. Really even mid lane. Slight advantage for Yopaj. Of course, that does mean that, again, you mentioned the jungle going to be important. John Uel's going to have his work cut out for him. He's already having a tough time as it is with his dual lanes. JG, he's finding last hits, but you can see the pressure Kezcute and Dreamosel are pumping in. They're not allowing this lane to be an easy one. And just Kezcute is happy enough to walk up and just get some hits off onto JG.
Well, Kezcute actually blocks in JG for a second. Yeah, he's got the block off. Almost did anyway. JG will just eat a tree and walk away. But it is buying a lot of time for Dreamosel. He's having a free lane now. You don't really want this as Neon. You want to make sure he has a very, very tough early game. We'll try to get started with the Torrent, but there's your Rift coming out into the stun. It's only a 1 second duration. But Dreamosel will continue this chase. That'll be it. Just a bit more harass, but JG, he's struggling. It's not an easy lane for him.
Nah, it's just set to get harder. They have to expend the salves early. He's going to have to ramp up into a bottle to sustain himself in this lane. When you look at Dreamosel's build on the CK, he's actually opting for the early Midas. We've seen this before. So he's not going to go for the early aggressive Echo Saber. Just look for the steady farm and look for the ramp up on that CK.
Rotation out from John Uel, but does miss out on that power rune. It will be an arcane rune going to Makoto. Dreamosel, another rift and stun thrown out. JG does get the torrent off. Nice dodge from Dreamosel. Now getting a nice crit there, but that'll be it. I think they're very happy to just leave him on this kind of low HP pool, knowing that he can't do anything.
Yeah, it means JG can't quite come in to really commit in the Tidebringer. I mean, if he does, there's enough mana here for Reality Rift, Dragon back, and he's gone. So, a tenuous spot for JG, and that just means that his progression's going to be slowed down a bit. Lots of good impact here from Kezcute. Now he's got that Frost creep. He's playing really well in the jungle. This is one issue when you don't block your own camps. The Chen has a good time.
Does. Top lane, bit of a play here from Playhard, but no, he can't get in range to get the Inkswell to connect.
See you later, nerds.
I've got to say, looking back up towards the top lane, Skem is having a very nice time. I thought it would be a bit tougher on him up against FBZ. Mind you, FBZ is also farming extremely well on this Mars, basically free farming at this stage. But Skem is having an almost decent time in comparison to FBZ's farm, just a few last hits behind.
That's going to set him up for a really quick build-up and a really quick level 6.
So, first blood going to be achieved. Playhard makes the rotation, and now they're going to try it onto Kezcute. You don't really have any more stuns to fly out on this Chen, so he will be fine. But you got the main target, which was the CK.
Yeah, that's going to offset the build-up into the Midas. You know, just slowing that down a touch, giving JG a bounce back in the lane. It's time for him to find a couple of last hits. They will have to send someone up top if they want to find some kill ops. Look at this, Dreamosel straight onto that JG.
He just salved up, eats a fairy fire. Dreamosel maybe backing off a bit too early. No, he will get the kill. Nice bit of revenge out from Dreamosel. JG will continue to have a pretty rough time on this Kunkka.
Yeah, it's a balancing act. Managed to counteract that earlier gank. And boom, they find themselves with a slight 1k lead now. Just keeping control on the map, finding that early farm. The one issue I'm seeing for Boom is the EXP gain for particularly her Wind Ranger support. Not fantastic. Hyde is at level 2. He is pretty much a pause 5. But you don't want to be too far behind as a Wind Ranger. He does get some space mid to soak some EXP here, so there is some way of playing catch-up.
Lepage is doing a really good job in catching up on the TA. He hasn't really rotated to the jungle too much yet. Now we are at that 7-minute mark, so of course he will do so to try and get those neutral items up. Just sitting behind the Mars.
No?
Bot lane, FBZ, rotation in with the arena out, but he does not secure a kill. And Skem is there with the jewel now. Not able to get in range to really jewel anyone, and obviously doesn't want to jewel FBZ, but Makoto now. Gonna rotate in to join UL, and they do get the kill.
Yeah, the simple pickup there for Boom. A bit of a surprising move. Playhard TP'd out of the lane up top. Just to soak some EXP, I guess. He doesn't really have anyone there, but look at this massive stack for Lepage. And that's how he's playing catch-up. His supports have created a ton of space. There were wards from Boom watching this, but they didn't have the opportunity to clear those stacks out for themselves.
JG looking to fight down bot lane, doesn't connect with the torrent, but Skem does manage to get the jewel off on time into Makoto, but they don't have the damage to finish him off while the jewel is still going. Still a very, very important kill. I'm sure Neon will be happy regardless of the jewel damage.
Oh yeah, it's still an important pickup. They slow down the OD. OD is not a particularly fast flash farmer, so the more he dies, the more his timing is offset. It's not a good sign. It's, you know, you've got the OD, you've got the CK. Both of these heroes need a good amount of farm to really get running.
Absolutely. Not really there yet on your OD. Just trying to work towards the 4-star. Falling just quite a bit behind Lepage right now. Just 1.1k in fact. Lepage will just continue working towards the Desolator. Just your standard TA build-up. And at this point, you start to question whether they can slow him down. Like, he's always going to have the jungle to go back to now.
I mean, they've got that deep triangle ward for Boom, but they haven't really maximized it. It's down to the supports to force their cores into early rotations. The CK doesn't really want to rotate, though. The OD definitely doesn't. Your only partner there is FBZ, but it looks like he's just going to be waiting for a blink. So you don't have many chances here for Boom, and that's the issue. The greed for Neon's paying off because there's just no way to punish.
Look at poor Treemacell. He's trying to take stacks, but he can't. He's going to do it one by one. The Hyde, I believe, was there power shotting to help him out. He's eventually going to get there, but it's just so slow. Now Makoto needs to help. Comes in with the Astral. Power shot. They're taking all the poor guy's creeps. Treemacell just... He just spent like 30 seconds taking those creeps, and then his support Wind Ranger and OD come in and just take it off him.
Yeah, that's a major issue.
It's giving me PTSD, John. I tried to play position 1 once, and this happened to me.
Well, that's the issues of CK, man. He doesn't jungle well. If you don't get a lucky Iron Talon drop, you're just kind of out of luck. And they do trap someone down mid, though.
Play hard. Trouble goes for the Inkswell, is going to go down. Of course, they have the arena up on FBZ, so they're definitely looking to try and pick off more heroes, or even just force this mid 1 tower. Say mid 1 tower? I meant mid tier 1 tower. Mid 1's not here.
Mid 1's a tower now, guys.
Yeah.
It's fine.
There's mid 1 right there.
Lovely tower. Lovely piece of that guy. Still, Boom. You know, it's still a close match. 2-3. You'd expect Boom to be a bit faster. They have the Chen, but their other heroes are just so much slower. So Neon are maximizing this time. They've got the Midas on Dreamocell, which is fantastic. Now he can actually kill 1 creep instantly at least. They've got the mech on Kesku. This is a bigger spike. So you've got mech ready, you've got Hand of God ready. If you did choose a fight, that's a lot of regen Neon's going to have to try to burn through.
Nice little arena out from FBZ down at the bot lane, and Makoto will happily take the kill on the OD, but now Playhard is going to rotate in with Skem from the side, going after FBZ, but can the Inkswell land? Not quite. Skem gives up on it and goes mid instead, where Lepage is in massive trouble, but look at those overwhelming odds. Gets a lot of creeps, goes for the duel attempt. It's not going to work out. He is completely surrounded and is going to go down. Not great news for Neon, but a fantastic fight for Boom Esports.
Oh yeah, they're really making it work. It's that mech in play for Kesku that's just keeping them all alive. He doesn't even have to expend a Hand of God. He's got that ready. He doesn't have the mana. Might be an issue down the line, but that sustain is starting to kick in. 3k lead all of a sudden for Boom. and they're starting to approach that point where they do reach a power spike, right? Like, it's a Ags rush as well for Mikado. They clear out that bot tier 1, and once you've got this Ags up on the OD, he can get so much more control, so much more damage out. And that without an early pipe or early BKBs, then the OD is going to do a lot of work in these engagements.
He certainly is. Kodo just slowly working his way there, does pick up the point booster. And if they can keep this up, Boom Esports, it's looking to be a pretty easy game for them. So nobody's being slowed down whatsoever. We know what these CKs can do once they hit that mid-game stage with a bit of farm. And he is going for the SNY build, which does indicate he wants to be able to fight with his team. Even going back up to defend that T1 tower. But rotations in. John Newell, Phantasm going to be expended, but they know the CK's there. FBZ also showing up now on the Mars. It's 5 heroes here from Neon. I mean, they've got the Deso, so they just want to commit to the T1.
Yeah, it's going to go really quick. It's already fairly low. Would have wanted to reveal that item a bit better, but they don't find the opportunity. They're still on the hunt, though. This is opening up a lot of space for Boom. Look at them. They're grouped up mid. They're going to go for that mid-tier 1 themselves.
They are. There is a big smoke rotation coming in. Neon looking for a good duel for Scam. Scam going to show himself, and JG unable to get anyone with the X. It's just not what you want as a 5-man rotation. If you can't at least punish one hero, it's not good news, but they might try to force the team fight in this mid-tier 1 tower. They are. Boom has everyone up, but they're not TPing in. They are waiting. Easy, Mike gets swapped and does get swapped. Now Scam will go for an immediate duel, but the Astral Imprisonment will save him with the boats to fly in. Another unsuccessful duel as FBZ does go down, but there's your Sanity's Eclipse being dropped onto Yopaj, and he will die. So will another in the form of Playhard, and now another Astral is going to catch out your Scam Legion Commander. And that is a 1-for-4 trade and a T1 mid tower going down.
Oh, that was an ugly fight for Neon. They keep forcing the 5-man, but Boom is there to punish. That was from top. This is their entire journey. Top tier 1. They couldn't find anyone. Go around the jungle, smoke down mid, not catching anyone in the defense, go for a push, and then get punished by losing 4 heroes. So Boom right in top, and they're hunting for more.
So he's going for the full team wipe. JG, the only one to get out of that team fight alive, does go down. That was the 5th kill for Boom Esports. They are looking very, very confident now. 6k net worth lead. It's hard to slow them down at this point, especially considering Dreamer Soul is just about 500-600 gold off having the full SNY.
Oh yeah. And once you've got that up on the CK, his presence shoots up, his damage shoots up. And, I mean, this Desolator from Yopaj is great. He needs to blink. They really do need a blink on Yopaj, and I'd say even Scam is going to need to jump in if they want to duel with him. He needs to start these fights, but with the Ags up on Mikado, if you don't duel Mikado, then you saw it in the last fight, but he Astral imprisons the dual target. You're not getting anything from that.
Certainly not. Oh, looks like John Newell has been spotted out. Dreamer Soul will happily take the free kill and deny the D ward that he was trying to initially go for. Of course, with that Phantasm, you can just use to escalate and farm. That was one of the better changes of the CK, right? Lowering that Phantasm cooldown. Which was a very long cooldown before, for no apparent reason. Now it's a bit better.
Yeah, it's much more easy to manage. The number of Phantasms down is a bit of a trade-off, but I think the better uptime is a bigger win. Still, there's that blink up for Yopaj, so they can go close the gap, get some damage off fast. The issue is follow-up after that. They're definitely going to need someone to help them lock them in. And at this point, you start to look at BKBs. Yopaj is queuing his up next. That will remove Mikado's presence. That will remove the OD's damage and control. So really important you start looking at those BKBs coming up next.
There's your SNY. Of course, Kescute already having the mech medallion up, so just so much sustain from the Chen. Yopaj, though, does get his blink up now on that TA. You also have the Spirit Vessel available on JG. But there's going to be a big smoke up from Boom.
Oh, that was under a ward, though.
It was too. That's problematic. So they should know. Can they counter-initiate here, Neon? They're going to break the smoke. JG is going to run straight into him. That isn't it, but a nice swap out from John Newell. Still, the arena is out from FBZ. Boat to fly in. Astral is there on Yakunka. Yopaj trying to get into the arena, but he's also Astral up now. JG going to die very easily, and there's your sanities being dropped. Scam is going for the jewel.
Oh.
And it's not going to work out. 4 heroes going down. They saw the smoke.
Yeah.
I believe they were trying to get a counter initiation, but that wasn't it.
No, it really wasn't. I'm confused. That was just bad positioning. Neon get punished for being on the wrong part of the map at the wrong time. A free team fight for Boom, a free Roche for Boom, and so all of a sudden they've got 9k lead, 3-16 up against Neon. Boom showing up today in great form. Dreamocell looking terrifying. With that SNY up, he's going into his own BKB next. Mikado is going to have a blink on the OD. He is going to have so many ways of opening up these fights. A blink in, 2 Astrals off the bat. You've got 2 heroes immediately gone for the counter initiation. You can just kind of clean up from Boom once you get the targets down. Another blink coming out. That's what Neon lacks. Yopaj alone is not enough to set the pace here.
He's not. Things are going very, very badly right now for Neon. 11k behind. I can only wonder what Dota Plus is thinking, and yeah, 96% at 19 minutes in is not good news at all for Neon. Look at Skem. This is your POS 1 Legion Commander. He's just trying to go for a Heaven's Halberd right now. This is one of those things where it's nice to try new carries to run, but he hasn't even won one jewel yet, John.
Mikado? He
Yes,
blinked in?
found another. He has blinked in. That's going to be JG getting caught out, but John Newell going to swap him. No, FBZ is ready for it. He doesn't have the spear, however, but an Astral will be there to hold him down as John Newell is going to die, and JG, yeah, he can't get out of that. In fact, there's another
man.
now. Makoto is all over the place. Gets another onto your carry LC, and he is just gone. I don't mean to call it early, John, but this is GG. The game's over. I believe it is gone.
It's such a difficult push to contest. You talked about Scam's progress into Halberd. Mike, he has no dual damage.
No,
He's
he
a
doesn't.
carry LC with no dual damage. 20 minutes in, they just don't have the damage. It's all on Yopaj, but you're asking a TA to jump into that alone? It's not a good prospect. As Boom, they take a tier 2, they go back, they play it safe, rinse and repeat, take over that jungle.
Yeah, but look, there's a support Wind Ranger with the MKB up now, John. He's 100 gold behind the opposing position 1.
Oh man, no, that's not a good spot. Neon's just so far behind. They need to try to bounce back.
It's
I don't
tough.
know how. It's a very difficult spot. You know, Hyde has actually not died as well. 2-0. Tell me Wind Ranger's a bad hero, Mike. Tell me.
Oh, goodness me, Jonathan.
Looks good to me.
Anyway, the Boom Esports side, I mean, again, I don't mean to call it early. I think Neon might have a very, very slim chance. Yeah, 1%.
Well,
Pretty
yeah,
accurate.
1%. Dota Plus, of course, very generous. And look at this smoke.
Yopaj
Kesky's right in
can't die
front.
like this. He can't die like this. He'll get shackled. Arena down. Yopaj gets speared up.
Oh no.
And when you're farming that far down, it's really showing you the
Scam.
situation right now for Neon, as Scam is also caught out. They have 0 map control. And I can't blame Yopaj for being there to farm. He has nowhere else to be. All
Yeah,
other parts of the map are just taken.
There's just nowhere. Look at this massive creep army from Kesky. 3 centaurs for stuns. how do you stop that? You don't have BKBs. Revenge, the swaps, it's level 1. The range on level 1 swap is atrocious. It's not enough to be safe. They're just not finding those big spikes this lineup needs. The tier 2 bot, it's a slow push because there are no creeps, so you've got that. But you've got the Guardian Greaves up now on Kezcute. His army, if you're roaming that jungle. They own that jungle, Mike. Not gonna fight the Chen in there. No,
Nope.
sir.
He's got a Guardian Greaves up now on Kezcute to make matters worse. For Neon Esports, that is. I mean, is this a drafting issue? They're going to try for a smoke. This could be the last one. They're going to try for a Hail Mary, I think. See if they can make it work. You do have the BKB up now on your Page, so you've got a 10-second charge, and that could be the difference. They are still 17k behind. They'll get some wards out. You don't spot anyone from Boom, so that fight's never going to happen. Neon could still make a miracle happen this game. It's a very, very tough predicament, but they could possibly make it happen.
I just realized Schem is level 13 on that LC. Hyde is 14. Kezcute is 13.
Yeah.
So your LC is at the level of the opposing support. They're gonna have to find some good kills. There's a smoke now from Boom, Mike. They're on the right trajectory.
I don't think you want to be initiated on if you're Neon right now. You need to be the ones initiating, but Play Hard is going to get spotted. Does break the smoke. They avoid him completely. No, Makoto will take care of it while an Arena and Spear is out. Onto Schem. He'll try to press the attack and make a run for it, but now Hyde with the focus fire should be just fine to kill him off with that MKB, and there you go. They will even astral him up. And power shot
Hyde.
to finish the job in style.
Oh yeah. And they just can't get a break here, Neon. The aggression from Boom. 3-23 at 19k of the lead. 24 minutes in, Boom. Complete control on the map. Johnny Well trying to get some wards out, but there are TPs coming in from Boom on that outpost. FBZ, he's not done.
Neon. See your Page, he's trying to work towards the butterfly now to try and negate a lot of the damage out from this CK and the OD. I'd love to see something like almost like an Aghanim Scepter on JG, just to have that Torrent Storm, just to create chaos in these team fights, because it just seems like there's no way to fight in a surgical manner when you're 20k net worth behind. This feels like you need to make all kinds of havoc happen to really get the advantage, but he can't really get 4.2k worth of gold right now, but they could potentially get Makoto. Torrent to start does connect. This could be big. The boat to fly in, but no, the Astral's there. He's just going to buy himself time as FBC with a 5-man arena, and they are just going to get wiped. Makoto has the sanities. He'll drop the hammer. That's Neon gone. Oh, there's no choice but to call the GG after that. FBZ. 5-man arena. Fantastic play from Boom Esports. Oh boy. It's a spicy dish that Boom Esports just cooked up for Neon.
Yeah, that's some really good plays coming out from Boom. Neon, you know, rocky game 1. I wouldn't say it's a drafting issue.
Really?
I wouldn't say, not straight up. I think they really dropped the ball with being forced to run the Schem LC. That was the biggest thing. They had to go for the Opage TA, but not completely. I think a lot of it was also down to execution. Like, we never saw Schem get good duels off. We never saw them play around with a swap duel, for example. That is one way to set up for your LC. They just couldn't find those opportunities. Boom just played a lot better. And it would help with a better draft. Neon's got to consider that in game number 2.
All right. Well, with that, we are going to head off to game number 2 in about 10 minutes. It's MLP Dota and JohnXFire. See you all again very, very soon for our second match.